Hello friends, welcome to our channel Sukoon FM English. Friends, we are here to listen story Secret Son-in-Law Shadow King. This is an English dubbed story. If you enjoy the story, please like the story, share the story with your friends in your WhatsApp groups. Tomorrow Samar said to Vivan he is a gay, but Vivan's girlfriend was angry on Samar and said, Samar, stop joking. How can my boyfriend be gay? Drama was starts. Let's begin the story. Episode number 57. Secret Son-in-law Shadow King story. Eliska shook her head and said, to make Elisha understand, Samar asked her the same question. Since you are young, you are Master's Vivan's friend, so I am asking you a question. Have you all talk to each other or not? Eliska shook her head and said, no, but only because we didn't, just because he did it. It does not mean he has any problem with it. Summer said, further while smirking lightly. I want to ask you one more question. Do you want to know more about this? Have they ever kissed? Has the man ever held my hand? I had never seen a person who has not held with on girlfriend's hand. Eliska was speechless at his words. The expressions on her face changed completely. She suddenly remembered that in the past 6 months since they had been dating, they had neither kissed nor had we once held her hand. He remembered very well that one night she wanted to kiss him, but he had refused. He had made the excuse that he was not well and he could not kiss her. He remembered all the past events, from which it was evident that Vivan had no interest in girls. Thinking all this, Eliska looked at Vivan and asked, Young Master Vivan, I tell me the truth. Is Samar telling the truth? The expression on young Master Vivan's face changed a little. He started sweating as he explained things to her quickly and while trying to make Eliska understand. He said, Baby, don't pay attention to her lies. Yes, I am your boyfriend. You should trust me, not him. But his subtle expressions revealed him. Rishka started at young Master Vivan's and asked loudly, Young Master Vivan, if you are telling the truth, then prove it and kiss me right now. Vivan again made excuse and said, Baby, I am not well right now and this is our first trip. This will be a kiss. I don't want to ruin this moment. I believe that we should have our first kiss when both of us are unconscious. Elisha interpreted them with her excuse and said, Are you stupid again? If you are not okay, then who will I kiss you? Saying this, she wanted to kiss him. She moved forward, but the priest pushed her aside. Rishka looked angrily at young Master Vivan and said, So Samar is telling the truth. Hey, you are really not interested in girls? You have been fooling me for so long. Samar had defeated his dreams with his words. His secret was revealed to everyone. He had exposed them. In other words, he had killed them with the arrows of his words. His words left the three young masters speechless and they all wanted to retreat. The crowd standing nearby also moved back, looking at Samar with their eyes wide open. There is no doubt that he was a talented doctor. He could tell a person's illness with just a glance. Everyone was surprised. But at the same time, they were also scared. This is because everyone had some disease or the other. They had some secret of their own which they did not want to give Summer a chance to reveal in front of everyone. At this moment, he became one of the most dangerous person on everyone's list. Again, Summer looked at the three and said with a soft smile, "Now tell me, three young masters, how does it feel when you are humiliated in front of everyone?" His eyes rolled up with a smile. Suddenly, a voice filled with a pleasant laughter came from the door. "What are you guys talking about here? I am talking to you." And a very beautiful girl dressed in a red stood in front of everyone. The face of that woman was proud and beautiful. Her eyes were bright. Her skin was creamy and her whole aura was radiating bright, brilliant light. Her dazzling red dress was wrapped elegantly around her slender body. It made her heart shine. It attracts the attraction of all the people present. It was a fish that was very beautiful. It was like waves in a lake. It was exuding innocence with a fish should have, creating a unique atmosphere. She was looking very beautiful. It seems as if she had a mysterious charm. As soon as she appeared, she would attract everyone's eyes towards her and become the focus of everyone's attractions was. In just 6 months, everyone around her standing spitting, their eyes turned red and their breathing became heavy. A boy standing in the crowd, "The girl is very beautiful. I am even ready to give my life to marry her." Another boy standing near him said in a stern voice, "Shh, tell me, this is Payal, Indore city most beautiful girl and chairperson of Kapoor industry. Do you want to do any more? Don't you want to live?" The boy sighed and said, "After seeing her so closely, I have forgotten everything I just gone. I said this to remind me, otherwise, all the people around her were talking. Six of them had seen Pyle before. They were shocked simply because they were seeing her for the first time. Moreover, being the most beautiful girl of Indore city, Pyle was rarely seen in the public places. Samar was listening to the crowd discussions. He looked at his eyes sparkled with surprise. He also felt that Pyle looked very beautiful in red dress. Seeing Pyle coming towards them, Ishan, Bharti, Vivan all become happy. They all thought the Pyle has definitely come here to talk on the behalf, as they are most powerful young masters of the young generations of Indore city. But the very next moment, they were stunned because Pyle was not coming towards them, but towards someone else. Pyle came in front of Samar, shaking her thin skin and looking into his eyes and said, "Samar, I have just heard that your Agrawal Industries in a trouble." Her soft voice, which was like water, had a unique charm. Samar furrowed his eyebrows and said softly, "Yes, Miss Pyle, our company has some funds." He did not understand with Pyle was asking about his company. Pyle opened her red cherry lips and said adorably, "Oh, okay, Industries has recently started a project which we want to do with your Agarwal Industries. Now it is all up to you. What do you say?" Kiara, who was still standing next to Samar, was very shocked. Her cold face turned to surprise. She said in surprise, "Miss Payal, do you want to do project with Agarwal Industry?" She knew that Kapoor Group of Industries is one of the top 10 industry in India. In Kapoor Group of Industries would have done any project with Agarwal industry, then it have definitely saved Agarwal industry. Payal adjusted her hair a bit and said in a stylish manner, yes, I am ready to do your project with Agarwal industry, but I have a small condition. This project will be taken up by Samar. The only reason for her to do a project with Agarwal Industries was to get close to Samar. Because she knew that Samar was not an ordinary person. Rather, he was a person who was respected by the entire family. Kiara raised her eyebrows and said, that's great. I am willing to make Samar the representative of Agarwal Industry so that he can work with your entire group of Agarwal Industries. Please cooperate. Even though she did not know why Payal was giving so much importance to Samar, but to save her company from being bankrupt. She had no choice but to agree with Payal. Moreover, Samar was not only her subordinate but also an employee of Agarwal industry. So she could promote him very easily. Hearing this, Payal also said in agreement. Yes, so let's wait for the charity event to get over and discuss the details of our project. Kiara also said respectfully. Okay, Miss Payal. Payal stood up gracefully and looking at Summer said, oh yes, the auction time of the charity event is about to start. Summer, will you sit with me in this auction? She said. The name of the charity event itself suggests that this event was for charity. Then was it is an auction? This was because everyone used to make jewelry and antiques, and some rich people used to buy them, and then the amount received was donated. There was a platinum seat, VIP seat, and a regular seat at the charity event. It was clearly evident that Payal would sit on the platinum seat, but Kiara could only sit on the regular seat. If Summer sat with Payal, Kiara would not have been able to sit with him. So Kiara said to Payal, Miss Payal, Summer is an employee of Agrawal Industries, so he should sit with me. He's CEO. Even though Payal had agreed to do a project with Agrawal Industry, Summer was her subordinate, so Kiara definitely did not want him to sit with Payal. This was his lair. His lair could only sit with him. She was not some other girl. How could I sit with him? Pyle said while talking in a pleasant manner. I want to work with Agarwal industry. This will help you a lot. That's why I think you will have to work with me. She should have no problem sitting with me. Her beautiful eyes were fixed on the sky. She was shining like the star. She was very beautiful. Pyle and Kiara both were most beautiful girls of Indore. Summer saw the aristocratic Pyle and then the glamorous Kiara. He was confused. One of these two girls had helped him and give him a platinum gift. He was very grateful to her now. The other was his wife, who was fighting against them three most successful young masters of Indore city to save him. This really affected a lot. Summer said this on his forehead, but she patted him and he felt a wave in his mind. He thought to himself, who should I tell you? Should I sit with you? This is a new trap. My head is starting to spin. These two girls were very nice to him. He really did not know that he with whom should he sit because if he sit with any one of them, then the other I would definitely have forgotten angry. Then an idea come in his mind and he silently slapped his head and said to himself, oh, I can even ask them to sit together. So I can sit with both of them. and he loves his genius solution. Samar come and looking at both of them said, Miss Payal, I am an employee of Agarwal Industry, so I have to sit with the CEO. But I will not miss your invitations. If still doesn't work, can't the three of us sit together? Hearing Samar words, Payal eyebrows furrowed and she started thinking. She was very upset with Samar. I wanted to sit with him, but seeing that he was an employee of Agarwal Industry, I refused and he said he had to go work. It would be wrong for an employee to sit in a better seat than the CEO. Thinking all this, he said, Okay, you and CEO Kiara can sit with me. Let's go. Pyle said this in a lovely way and asked Summer to Kiara to leave. She gestured and walked towards the platinum VIP seat. The people sitting behind the were very feeling very jealous. They all wished they were in a summer palace, but Isan, Bharat, and Vivan, all three of them had a sad face. They were all very unhappy. The three of them basically want to force Kiara to drive Summer out of the job. He had not expected that Payal would come forward to help Summer like this. This was a hard slap on his face. He felt very bad. The charity auctions had more than 30 scenes in a row. The first row had platinum VIP seat. The people sitting on the VIP platinum seat were all big personalities. Payal, son of mayor, the richest person of Indore city, CEO of Anti-Society Against. Even though Samar and Kiara were seated in the first row and right next to Payal, they were still considered the lowest in the eyes of others. The second row consisted of 100 people from Indore city, along with the four young masters. They were also CEOs of other big companies. For example, Yogesh Marwa, CEO of Marwa Real Estate, Neil Sharma, CEO of Everyday Entertainment. In the third row, every big company has VIP managing director, so we are director level people sitting here. Payal yawned and stretched herself while showing her eyes to me. He said to Samar, Samar, there is a vacancy for the post of manager in our entire group of industry. We are looking for you to 10 millions dollars. If you want you enter into Kapoor industry, can you join? She knew that Samar's background was very strong, so she wanted to get close to him by any means. Moreover, it was also the suggestions that a seniors of the family who was close to the mother. Samar stopped and looked at Payal who was beside him. He looked so closely that this girl looked even more beautiful. Her beautiful eyes were constantly radiating a beautiful glow. Her red lips were like cherries. Her skin was very white and her eyes looked pale. She was really special. Samar face looked a little nervous. He immediately looked away from her. He looked a deep breath. He did not dare to look at Piles again as Kiara was not happy with him. Realizing that Pyle was trying to was Summers right in front of her, a disgusted expression appeared on Kiara's adorable face. She said to herself, I agree, my Kapoor group of industries was the biggest industry of Indore city. But you were before my eyes. You can't even try to touch my face in front of him. Kiara was very angry. Kiara said while laughing in a lovely manner. Samar, you have done really well recently. You have promoted well. I will give us you a bonus. She was very beautiful. Her lovely dark face, her small nose, her vibrant red lips, as well as her ice white skin, slender body, long legs made the summers tremble. especially when she slept. It was like the ice was melting. If Payal was called a rose, then Kiara could be called a Barfi. They were both extremely beautiful and both were extremely pretty. Samar took a deep breath to calm his heartbeat and said, Miss Payal, thank you for your offer, but I am doing well at Agarwal Industry and I have no plans to change the company right now. If a time comes when I have to work to no more, I will definitely consider the whole Kapoor group of industry. I will do it. He could not even muster the courage to work with another company, otherwise, Kiara would surely tear him apart. So he gave a very vague answers where he neither agreed nor refused. He also rejected Payal's proposal. It was beneficial for him to leave some space for the game. Summer felt that he had taken this. All went well, as he did not upset either the girls, but Payal and Kiara were both unhappy. Yet Payal said with a smile, if that is the case, then I can just wait. A glimpse of disappointment was visible in her beautiful eyes. She knew that Samar was just a regular employee of Agarwal industry and his monthly salary would be very low. She initially thought that if she could hire him for $10 million, she would be surprised. If gives the post of manager, then he will definitely join her company. But who know that Samar would reject her? Payal thought to herself. This is the first time someone has rejected my offer. Kiara raised her eyebrows and stared at Samar and thought to herself. Samar, Agrawal Industry is the great company. I will take on so many responsibility that I won't even get time to think about other things. This man just said that if such a time comes when he will leave Agrawal Industry, then he will go to Kapoor Group of Industry. This made Kiara a little angry. Because of Kiara, Agrawal Industry represented the market while the Kapoor Group of Industry represented Payal. Summer said that if he leaves her, he will go to Payal, so he was definitely not happy. Kiara clenched her cheeks and said to herself, come on, Kiara, I have to go to the gym. This enemy has to be defeated. You can't let Samar go in his company. Because Kiara saw that the way Payal was looking at Samar was soft as water, as if she was flirting. This made her uncomfortable and she went on high alert. Payal was considered the number one beauty of Indore. After all, she could not let him touch her lair. Kara's father was kidnapped by a woman because he had a mistress outside. He did not love her mother. She did not want to be like her mother, so did not let her husband to go anyone else. Ping! Just then there was a heavy sound of hammer hitting the ladies' table on the auction hall. This sound was a signal for the start of the charity auction. Just then a woman come running out of the auction hall. She walked towards the stage and after seeing everyone around her, she stood up in a pleasant manner. That lady said to everyone while speaking to me. Dear valuable guest, I am from the Kapoor Group of Industry. I am Natasha. Everyone is welcoming to the charity event of Kapoor Group of Industry. Today, whatever money we collect from the auction will be donated to orphanages. That beautiful lady standing in the middle of the stage, even though she had grown a little old, was still as charming as ever. She was very good at acting. Her every look and Every gesture was an inspiration to all the men below the stage. It was competitive in my eyes. And with her efforts, the atmosphere was becoming even more lively. Everyone was red faced and ready to beat. Seeing that all the men at the venues were red faced and looked very impatient, Natasha looked a little spoiled. Looking at Natasha, Samar softly said, "This lady is very good at sales. She seems to be a master in sales." He could understand that the lady standing on the stage was very good at fulfilling everyone's wishes. Natasha opens her red lips and said, "The first item of the auction today is from raw density. There is a piece of silver, a flower. The silver utensils from the raw densities were the most famous. This was the crystallizations of the working class of Indore city. Their name was at the world level. Every part of these silver utensils was famous. The king was classicals and they were all very handsome." Just then, young Master Isans asked excitedly, "Natasha ji, please tell me quickly that what is the starting price of this flower pot? I want to buy it." He was interested in antiques and he was very fond of collecting antique treasures. Hearing his words, Natasha laughed and extended her white palm and said this twice. She clapped her hands. Then a girl standing next to her brought a tray with her hand, but there was a red piece of cloth. The red cloth was all right, which kept the inside completely safe. Natasha moved her red cloth forward and slowly removed red cloth. It was a silver flower pot, which was placed on tray and was shining. This flower pot was so beautiful that it looked like a flower. It was not big. It was just a little more than a foot high. But it was very beautiful. The silver flower pot had very fine carvings on it. It was magnificent and beautiful, a great example of this. Natasha looked at everyone and said while saying, "Flower pot, the auction's price starts from the 1 crore rupee and each bid can be at least 50 lakh rupees. There could be more." As soon as Natasha's voice fell, the crowd was already waiting to shout, especially young Master Ishan, who was the first to stand up and shouted, "I offer 1 crore 50 lakh rupees." Just then Samar interpreted and said, "Young Master Ishan, this is unexpected for you." When he saw that young Master Ishan wanted to buy flowers, Samar frowned slightly and cold light flashed in his eyes. He hated this man very much, who always used to harass his wife. He said to himself, "Since you want to buy these flower pot, but I will not let you buy them so easily." Samar used a knife to vent his anger on young Master Ishan. "I decided to spend more money for this." He suddenly stood up and said loudly, "I offer 2 crore rupees." Young Master Ishan heard Samar's voice and he was stunned. He was surprised and then a flash of anger was visible in his eyes. He clearly did not expect that Samar he will have the courage to compete with him in the auction. He was one of the four young masters of Indore city. It was clear that he could not lose to a small employee of Agarwal industry. It was a matter of honors, since he had opened his mouth for flower pot, so he will have to buy this flower pot. Young Master Isan said loudly with a cold glow in his eyes, "I offer 3 crore rupees." Just then Samar voice came. 4 crore, young Master Isan shouted without any hesitations in his voice. 5 crore. Samar looked at him and increased the price of flower pot, saying, 6 crore. Young Master Ishan looked at Samar and first look. There was anger in his voice. He was saying in anger, 7 crore. Ignoring young Master Ishan's anger, Samar raised his bid to trouble him even more. 8 crore. Young Master Ishan's also shouted in excitement. 10 crore rupees. Why would I pay such a price? The blood in his head shouted, pounding rapidly. He was almost going mad. Young Master Isans had only one thought in his mind, that he had to defeat Summer and get a flower pot. He had already forgotten how much money he had to spend. He was carried away by the impulse. After hearing his words, Summer said, Okay, I lost and you won. This flower pot is yours. When young Master Isan said, a sarcastic sparks appeared in Summer's eyes. After that, Summer looked at young Master Isans with a funny look and sat down randomly. While sitting, Summer saw Master Isan's terribly pale face and trembling body. Looking vaguely, it seems that this lucky fellow must be very angry. After all, 10 crore was not a small amount. The entire event auctions hall was quiet as death. Everyone was looking at young Master Isan strangely, as if they wanted to laugh at him. This man is really a money man. I was a man, but even if you have a lot of money to spend, you should not waste it like this. Young Master Isan had a horrible expressions on his face when he found that everyone was looking at him like an idiot. Now he realized that Summer had deceived him and he had fallen into his trap. Tong tong tong. After three sounds on the heavy hammer hitting the lady's desk, flower pot was finally given to title young master Ishans. Bought it for 10 crore. This price was starting price of flower pot, although it was built during the times of flower pot raw density. Its price was only 101 crore, but young master Ishans spent 10 crore, which made him almost burst with anger. And the most important thing is that young Master Isan's face turned red with anger then when Samar made fun of him in front of everyone. So the way he looked at Samar, he became cold. However, Samar saw a little spot in front of his cold eyes and ignored it. He turned back to talk to Kiara, who was sitting next to him. Their intimate presence made young Master Ishans feel jealous. The auctions had gone starts right from the first item, and Natasha's Tilbury was happy. She was excited. After a little pause, the auctions of the next item started. The second part of the auctions, the tortoise, was a famous magical pearl. This magical pearl was based on the glass and emitted a silver surface light. Finally, it was acquired by the richest man of Indore city. The auctions continued, and after one of more than 10 antiques were sold. When the auctions come to its final point, the summer tile suddenly rose sharply because he saw that this piece of spear was very precious. It was a pendant made of fair Kashmir spear in 1881. This pendant was neither green nor blue. It was multicolored. The color was yellow and white gray. The best variety of spear was Kashmiri spears, which was very pure. After this, white spear was the worst variety of the its price was the lowest. Natasha picked up this colorful spear and announced in a sweet voice, This is the last antique pendant. The auction's price is 1 lakh rupee, which will increase by at least 50,000 rupees every time. His eyebrows were slightly wrinkled. He was not at all optimistic about the movie of Neelam. No, Neelam's sons was in a very bad shape. She had bought a lot of things through auctions. He had sold antiques and felt this colored spears was not worth much money. When rich people bought spear, the first thing they thought about was the color of the spear, and the second thing they paid attention to was the color of the base and the peacock. The color of this spear of various color was very beautiful. It was the most beautiful paint among all those ancient things which Natasha had seen in the auction. Of course, no one responded after Natasha told the price. No one liked it, Natasha against. This spear pendant is worth 1 lakh rupee. Does anyone want to bid for it? But no one wanted to buy it. She was still disappointed. Samar was still thinking about Neelam. Suddenly a thought came to his mind. The light bulb came on. He finally remembered that it was a piece of treasure. He thought that to himself. Oh, I remember. It's a pair of dragon and phoenix pennants. I have a phoenix pennant. The real, especially of the coin, was hidden. The dragon and phoenix pennants, as the name suggests, were two pieces of spear. The first one was dragon pennant and the second was the phoenix pennant. He had once seen a drug paint in a British museum. It was exactly like a drug paint. It was a black circle, but there was a phoenix in the middle. It was clearly a phoenix paint. Summer did not hesitate anymore. He stood up and got ready to bid. However, a sudden blush appeared on Summer's face. The reason was very simple. Summer did not have much money. If he had bid for the spear piece, he would not have been able to pay even a single penny. Summer got a reward of 50,000 from his company because he had recovered 1 crore rupees from Bakhtawar, Prachi, and he got 50,000 each. He had already spent most of it and now he was left only 6,000 rupees. 6,000 rupees were obviously not enough to buy this pen. Earlier, Samar young masters was convincing Ishan to spend a lot of money and he wanted to buy something did not want to. Now he was determined to get the piece of spear and he had to buy it. Antiques for charity events were paid for in money or transferred from there. However, no credits was allowed for any purchases. Samar's eyebrows wrinkled and his face filled with worry. He started thinking to himself, I thought he would what would I do? What should I do? This spear is such a huge treasure. I don't know how can I get it. I will able to see in next time. But I don't have money. Oh yes, I can borrow money from Kiara also. Thinking this, Samar become happy. He turned back and asked Kiara, boss, can you borrow 1 lakh 50,000? I want to buy this Neelam paint. Kiara had a look of surprise on her face. He was surprised and asked, do you want to buy this Neelam pendant? It was clear that the quality and textures of the spear was not good. No one was willing to buy it, was not ready for it naturally. She wanted to know why Summer wanted to buy it. Payal's beautiful eyes sparkled. She immediately asked Summer, Summer, if you want to this spear pendant, I can lend you 1 lakh 50,000 rupees. She said this to him. A divine spot appeared on a Moha's face and made him especially divine. Kera said in a cold voice, Miss Payal, there is no need for this. I will give him 1 lakh 50,000 rupees. She rejected Payal's proposal. She was Samar's wife. If Samar needed money, he should have lent it to her. How could he have borrowed money from Pyle? His affections towards Pyle disappeared. He looked out a bank card and extended it towards Summer and said, "Take this. There is a 50 lakh rupees in this card. It should be enough to buy a spear pendant." "Thank you." Summer thanked him and took the sword in his hand. He only wanted to buy 1.5 lakh and he was not expecting this at all. That Kara will give him only 50 lakhs. It's, his wife was very great. He thought in his mind, I feel appreciated. Samar stood up and said loudly, 1,50,000 rupee. I want this Nilam pendant. Please do. The starting price of Nilam pendant was 1 lakh and each bid is higher than 50,000. 50,000 must have been more. Hearing smart words, the people around him starting looking at him in surprise when they saw that Samar wanted to buy a pendant. Suddenly, young Master Isans also stood up and he also bid loudly. I will give 2 lakh rupees. Samar had defeated him once before. Also, when young Master Isans seen that Samar wanted to buy pendant, he naturally has to go to Samar trouble was bound to a rise. Seeing young Master Isans also doing the same trick, Samar front and turned away. He started thinking of a solution. This fool obviously did not know the real value of spear and he was bidding just to get a chance. Samar gently said this and straight away increasing the price 1 lakh rupees and said, I will take 3 lakh rupees. Young Master Isan said in a cold voice while listening. I will give 4 lakh rupees. Samar rolled his eyes and said to young Master Isans while crying, I will pay 5 lakh rupees, but since young Master Isan likes the spear pennant so much, if you bid 1 million rupees, the pennant will be yours. Initially, Isans wanted to continue bidding, but when he heard Samar's words, he hesitated in bidding because he did not really want to buy this spear. He just wanted to defeat Samar. Ishan was worried that if he bids a million, Samar will give up and he will have to face the same fate again. He had fallen into Samar's trap and had already lost 10 crore rupees. He had would not fall into in his trap again. Thinking all this, Isans looked at Samar and said, Samar, I am not in your trap. I will go into trouble. I don't want this Nilam pendant anymore. Samar looked at him and said with a smile, Hey, young Master Ishan, you are very smart. You have become very careful. Ishan got excitedly slightly and became even happier than getting praise from Samar. However, in his thoughts, Samar laughed and thought that young Master Ishan was a fool who used to do stupid things. People around them were busy talking and making fun of Samar. When Samar did not stop laughing at people making fun of him, he thought, what foolish people they are. They cannot even recognize the real treasure. Yet, they come to the auction. He walked up to Natasha, paid 5 lakh rupees using the bank card and took the Nilam pendant. As soon as he took the pendant, Samar got excited and said, Ha 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 ha, this is the Phoenix pendant. I have found a treasure. Samar saw the Nilam pendant in his hand and could not stop laughing. But to everyone else, he looked crazy. Young Master Isans mocked the soldiers with a tearful expression in his eyes. The teacher said to him, Samar, you are a fool. The cost of Nilam pendant is maximum 10,000. But you spent 5 lakh to get it. Why are you so happy? As far as he saw, the price of the pure spear pendant was only 10,000 rupees. But Samar was very happy to buy the pure spear pendant. He naturally enjoyed it. When Samar heard young Master Isan's words, he laughed and said, "You are a fool. You cannot even identify the treasure, and yet you have come to the auction. What a shameful thing." Young Master Isan shouted at the nearby crowd to shame Samar. He said, "Come and see, everybody. This fool has bought the spear pendant for 5 lakh rupees, and he is keeping it as a treasure. What fun!" It is human nature to remain a spectator. The people around looked at them and pointed fingers at Samars. Their eyes were full of ridicule. After all this, Kiara's eyebrows rose when she saw people making fun of Samar. She walked towards them politely. Samar was not only his subordinate but also an employee of Agarwal industry. He represented the image of industry. He naturally made people laugh at him. Kiara walked up to Samar and said, "Samar, since we have already bought Nilam pendant, I have taken my leave and the charity event is over. So come on, we should leave now." Samar nodded and said, "Okay, let's go," and get ready to go with Kiara. He did not want to waste his time and with idiots. Kiara and Samar wanted to leave, but still there were some people who were making fun of them. Elisha Mehra, standing in the crowd, pointed towards Kiara and said jokingly, "Hey Kiara, everyone calls me the queen of business and says that you are very smart, be proud. As far as I see, you are the fool." Ilaj insulting words made Kiara angry with a flash of anger on her face. She said angrily, "Alicia, you are. What do you mean to say? What do you mean?" Isha pointed her finger at Kiara and Samar and insulted them, saying, "Kiara, you have lent 5 lakh rupees to Samar. This guy has given me an illegal spear pendant. Buy it, which cost only 10,000 rupees. If you are not a fool, then who is? You are a fool. Both of them are pairs of fools." His face filled with joy. Just then, Samar had insulted not only her but also her brother and boyfriend. Ulysses was filled with anger. Besides, girls are always jealous of girls. Ulysses and Kiara were both of girls, so naturally Ulysses was jealous of Kiara's beauty and bravery. Now that she saw that Kiara has made a mistake, she told Kiara and Samar then that this is not doing anything wrong. I never missed an opportunity to insult. Slap. Then Samar slapped Alicia's own face. Her face got swollen and she got injured. Drops of blood were visible on the lips. Lisa pinched her cheeks in disbelief and shouted, "You bastard! You had the poor guts to hit me. It was a charity event where fighting was prohibited. How did Summer have the guts to hit her? Who was the not afraid of angering the whole family?" Summer looked at her coldly and said, "Your tongue is very dirty." This Elisha is very, she was disgusting. She not only said him, but also insulted his wife. That's why Summer could not stop himself from hitting her. What was doing in the next Elisha Mehra? What will be happen in the next episode? If you guess, please comment in the below comment section. And friends, if you enjoy the story, please like the story and share the story with your friends in your WhatsApp groups. Friends, please share the story with your all friends and also a valuable comment in the comment section. If you visit the first time to our channel Sukun FM English, please subscribe our channel Sukun FM English and Press the bell icon also. Next episode is releasing on tomorrow at 7 p.m. Please like the story, share the story, and comment also in this story.